However, chat, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this top cut breakdown for a second. Can we talk about this? I'd rather not. I would prefer if we didn't have to have this talk, but it is, bro. 7 decks. It's not even 7 decks because you might think these two are the same, but one of them is Super Heavy Samurai and one of them is Super Heavy Samurai Orchest, which, by the way, based as hell. We're gonna check out that list in a second. But brother in Christ, what the hell is this breakdown? To be fair, it was 124 players, so it is the smallest national so far out of the 3 that have happened. But 124 players is still nothing to scoff at. You know, that's still like, that's a decently sized tournament. Bro, what the hell is this top cut, dude? There's a Kashtira deck, a Drytron deck, a Dragon Link deck, a Branded deck, a Super Heavy Samurai Orchest, a Super Heavy Samurai, a Traptrix, and one who shall not be named. Why? I feel like I've talked about this enough before, but just very quickly. Because people might be wondering, hey, why is he not liking this? It's super diverse. Isn't that super cool? I understand why people like diverse formats. I just want to preface that. But I think as to everything in life, there's pros and cons to it. I think diverse formats are cool if you're looking for like a very, like, a tournament experience where you play against a lot of different decks and it's like people think that's fun and that's cool. From a competitive standpoint, for someone that tries to prepare for these tournaments very well and tries to do as well as possible, it's very weird to have a format like this where you basically can't prepare for it. Right? It's really hard to build a deck that does well into this type of format, which is specifically why people don't like these types of. It is probably really cool to watch a tournament in this format, like people are saying in chat. You know, as a viewer of a YCS, the diverse formats are gigapog. I can see that, where like you have cool new feature matches every round. I definitely agree. That is very cool, right? But from the player's perspective, it's really hard to prepare for so many different decks, especially when the decks are so different, right? You have Super Heavy Samurai that puts up an unbreakable board, basically, so you have to play hand traps against it, but then hand traps are not very good against some other decks, like against Kashtira or Purely, you would much rather have cards that tribute their shit rather than hand traps. And then you have back row decks like Traptrix and Labyrinth, and then you have Branded, which is completely off the wall strategy, Mathmech, which is Troll Despair, Drytron, which is Troll Despair. It's like we have Dragon Link, which somehow exists. We have it's like it's so hard to prepare for a format like this, which is why also, like, I feel like half of the community really liked last year's national format, and then the other half just hated it, which I personally am a hater of last year's national format. I didn't like it. I thought it was too diverse. I think there is a level where, I'm not saying every format should be tier 1. I don't think that is the case either. I'm preferring like the formats where we have, like, I don't know, 3 to 4 decks. You know, 3 to 4 decks feels like a healthy middle ground to me. Like, I don't know, Toss format, Sprite, Tearlament, Flunder, and Rika. Those kind of formats, those seemed fine. Power of the Elements format, basically. Like, these types of formats I really like. Or like, I don't know, back in the day, like Necros, Burning Abyss. These types of format, like 2 to 3 to 4 decks. That I feel like is optimal for my liking. For my liking, between 2 and 4 really good decks is optimal. I hate when it's upwards of 5 or 6 decks you need to prepare for, because it becomes very much impossible. Yeah, Necros, BA, Clifford, Shaddoll, that type of stuff, right? Those type of formats, like, pretty. I think that's optimal. I think that's the best of both worlds in terms of diversity, but still being able to prepare for a format in terms of deck building. This is not what I'm looking for.